Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
You could be driving a Honda.
Improved from the front grille to the tailgate and equipped to take you on the adventure of a lifetime, the ride is just different in this new Pilot seat. Come see the all-new 2023 Honda Pilot, now on sale at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegel Lane.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Dignity Memorial can help. Our prepaid funeral plans make sure that your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. At Dignity Memorial, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee Serio at 225-315-6329. That's 315-6329. Dignity Memorial, the peace of mind your family deserves.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome as we start the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I already know all is well with you and yours in your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you and yours. We start today's show, as we normally do, with Louisiana news. And this geographically took place in Texas. Unfortunately, it involves a couple of Louisianians. Law enforcement in the great state of Texas, Kinney County Sheriff's Office, arresting two individuals when they found out the vehicle they were driving was a stolen truck. Upon further examination, they end up finding a Guatemalan national hiding under the seats in the pickup truck. Donnell Harris was the passenger. 18-year-old Baton Rouge resident Tanera Tate was the driver. According to law enforcement, it was not immediately clear exactly what charges they will face, but I think you can probably make pretty much an educated guess. You can probably as well make a guess that Mr. Tate has several drugs and weapons convictions in recent years here in East Baton Rouge Parish. Surprise, surprise. Right? This is a problem that has been exacerbated by absolutely horrible policies regarding our southern border by the Biden-Harris administration. You literally have to be willfully blind or just plain stupid not to understand where this problem stems from. Unfortunately, doesn't appear as though it's going to get any better anytime soon. That being said, tip of the hat to law enforcement, the Kinney County Sheriff's Office in Texas, for being aware of all around them and enforcing the law. We also, in Louisiana news yesterday, found out a very tragic development regarding the crash of the Acadian ambulance in Morganza. As I'm sure you're probably aware of by now, 2 people in the ambulance were killed. The driver, paramedic, and the passenger that had recently completed some surgery and was heading back to the nursing home where he resides. We now also know, however, that the driver of the ambulance was pregnant. I cannot begin to imagine the heartache that this family is dealing with. I mean, obviously, they were looking forward, cherished their daughter, her accomplishments in helping other people, and probably more so than that, and I don't want to put myself in their position because I'm not qualified to make that judgment. I'll simply say that I'm sure they were looking forward with equal enthusiasm to the birth of another grandchild, or their first grandchild. It is something that unless you've been there and done that, it's kind of hard to fully understand the grief that these families are going through. It is something that, if you are a person of faith and you're like me, you say only God can heal that wound. I just hope that you will be so kind as to keep the families in your thoughts and in your prayers. The surviving paramedic, his mother, is asking that those of us that are members of the community of faith, that we pray without ceasing. You know, I had the opportunity to deliver an address to some really good folks in Denham Springs not so very long ago. And one of the things that I talked about was the benefit of prayer. And one of the things that stands out in my mind is the fact that when it comes to prayer, one of the good things is that you don't have to have a conversation with the person that you're praying for. You just pray for them. Because quite frankly, in today's America and today's world, there are some people we are not built to have a conversation with. For example, professor in California, the granola state, take out the fruits and the flakes and all you have left are the nuts. He comes out and says, math is not an absolute. His example, 1 + 1 does not necessarily equal 2. So of course people wanted to know, okay, what's your rationale here? He says, well, take 1 hen and 1 rooster, put them together, come back tomorrow, and there's a chick. Now, 1 + 1 = 3. If you come back the next day and there are 2 chicks, now 1 + 1 = 4. And he went all the way this long litany of how many answers there could be for 1 + 1. I told the good folks in Denham, and I tell you right now, I ain't built to have a conversation with that guy. Because it's probably not going to end well. It's probably not going to end well. But I can pray for him. I don't have to have a conversation with him, but I can pray for him. If you are a member of the community of faith, I can say without any hesitation or reservation whatsoever, these families would love nothing more than to have you honor them with their prayers. Just an observation. Finally, in Louisiana news, it has become something that is a burden on our society. It is something that, for the life of me, I cannot figure out where it stems from, but it's something that, like it or not, it is a part of our society these days. And it's something, particularly if you have children, that you need to be sure that you're always aware of. Baton Rouge man recently arrested on charges of child pornography here in East Baton Rouge. 44-year-old Michael Walker, allegedly, found in possession of over 100 child pornography images. He is facing 100 counts of possession and distribution of child pornography. You know, I am cursed with having grown up a baby boomer and having grown up with two very loving, caring parents, and having grown up in neighborhoods where children were cherished and neighbors took it upon themselves to watch out for everyone else's children. It pains me, y'all. It pains me dearly to say that in many, many places in our country, those days are over. It is now, in many cases, no longer viewed as a community responsibility. So parents, that now puts the onus on you. You've got to know who your children are coming in contact with. You have to know what those individuals are all about. And if you grew up anywhere near like me, you've learned to trust your gut. You can tell in a lot of instances something's just not right about that person. When you have that feeling, trust your gut, y'all. Trust your gut. Law enforcement is reactive. It would, be euphoria if law enforcement awakened every day and knew, okay, this person's going to do this person's going to do that, this person's going to do the other. Then they could be proactive. But in a nation of laws, freedoms and liberties, unfortunately, many times that befalls us as parents and community members. And quite frankly, we have been asleep at the wheel for far too long, folks. Far too long. And if you doubt the authenticity of that statement, just realize this person, allegedly, was comfortable enough in his environment to have hundreds of these photos in his possession. I don't know about you, but that tells me pretty much all I need to know. Just an observation. First break of today's show. Coming right back, and we'll continue on with the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
You could be driving
Smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just 2 reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 Best Trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
No, that's your expertise, not mine.
Right.
You already know the face. You certainly know the name, Serio, the guy who has dedicated himself to helping us mere mortals deal with something that's not all that comfortable for us to talk about. Talking about end-of-life decisions, and particularly how you want to be remembered. It is something that you've heard me say before. Unless you are fortunate enough to be here when the rapture occurs, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but guess what? You're going to die. It is simply a reality of the life that we live. Now, that being said, when that happens, are you ready? And have you put your family in a position to be able to minimize all the emotions that they have to go through? Lee, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing great, Clarence. Thank you, buddy.
Peace of mind. 3 words that you sell. How important is it for people to be able to go, I don't like talking about it, I'm not all that comfortable with it, but doggone it, I know my family's going to be taken care of?
It's the most important reason why people do pre-plan and take care of their final arrangements. I hear that all the time. All the time. Just a couple of days ago with the family up in Baker. And it was like, I'm so glad we took care of it. It has been on my mind. And actually, your wife, Gretchen, called us at the right time. I had been stressing over this, and all of a sudden she calls. I don't even know where she got my number from.
Right.
So glad you came out. We were able to take care of this.
Wow. That's got to be pretty rewarding as an occupation. I mean, I can only imagine the stumbling blocks that you encounter trying to start the conversation with people about final arrangements. But once that's done, and they get that peace of mind. That's got to be a pretty rewarding feeling.
It really is. It really is. Having gone through this at an early age, my first wife died at 36 years old.
Bless her heart.
Fortunate enough, within a couple years after that, I remarried my wife, Gretchen.
Wonderful
now, this was
person.
23 years ago, but she lost her husband at an early age when she was 30.
Okay.
So we both had gone through this at an early age and know all the stress it put on us. It is just peace of mind. That's what it is.
I've got to imagine that there are some people watching right now, and they're saying to themselves, guys, I'm glad to know that you're doing what you're doing, but the fact of the matter is, I've got life insurance. That's going to take care of that. After talking with you a couple times, I've coined a phrase: use life insurance for life, not death. Accurate?
Yes, sir. Totally. Then we don't even know if the life insurance policy is going to still be enforced. If we've got people out there holding on to life insurance to pay for this funeral that's going to happen sometime in the future.
Right.
That cost keeps going up. All life insurance is a promise of some money out there in the future if that policy's still in force. If it's not, then there's nothing.
Right.
But when you start paying down on your funeral over 3 or 5 years, it's there, it's locked in, it's bought and paid for.
And your family can then, if and when the life insurance money comes through, they can use that for life, as opposed to using life insurance to take care of death's expenses, right?
Correct, and that's the main reason we have life insurance, is for our spouse or our children, but mostly so that when I exit, I want money there to keep my wife living and not have to be worrying about anything. I don't want to take a huge chunk of that to pay for my cemetery property and my funeral services. I mean, that could be 20, 25, 30 grand gone.
Speaking of which, we have watched in recent memory the price of every single thing there is go up and up and up. And a lot of the things that are so important to life and end of life don't appear as though they're going to get cheaper anytime soon. A lot of people may feel, it's the federal government, it's our state government, it's the New World Order, whatever. I can't do anything about inflation. I just hope that they get their act together. But this is an opportunity for you to do something where you're in control and don't have to worry about the rising cost of everything, especially death.
Exactly right. When you pre-plan and take care and secure your final arrangements with us, you are locking into the price. We are guaranteeing it.
Nice.
Yes, and let's say some folks are out there saying, look, after I retire, I'm retiring, I may move off. You can take this with you. We're over 2,000 funeral homes and cemeteries across the country.
Nice.
Bring it to wherever you want. It'll be honored just like if it was done here. No worries. No worries.
I know a lot of people watching right now are saying, well, I like the concept. I love the idea. And God knows I want to make sure my family has enough money from investments and insurance, et cetera, but I'm a kind of quirky individual. My wife, she's kind of quirky with some of the things. I don't know, maybe something I want in that service, it's a detail, it might be too small for Lee to handle, or it might be too large for Lee to handle. Nothing could be further from the truth, could it?
You're exactly right. And in fact, 2 nights ago, I was with the family, and we were pre-planning for her mom, who's unfortunately fixing to pass.
Right.
Harley Davidson. We're going to bring a Harley Davidson motorcycle into our funeral home, set that up with a lot of other different things about her life.
Sweet.
Y'all, we've had saddles, we've had Heroes, duck hunters, we anything you want. It's your celebration. You do it the way you want. This isn't the old school way of doing things. Just got to be done one way. No.
Wow.
Celebrate the life.
I love it. Does the average person, Lee, particularly veterans, families, many of them figure, okay, they served, there are benefits reserved for them, and that's something we don't have to worry about. Do you think the average veteran's family has any idea how many hoops they're going to have to jump through when their loved one passes?
They do not. And it really, it extends the process of the grieving and the arranging the funeral and the burial. And when I meet with veterans, we pre-plan this. We get the paperwork filled out, sent up to headquarters up in Missouri, VA headquarters, so that you now get a pre-approval letter back. They're ready and waiting. The one promise I ask folks when I meet with them, promise me one thing, that you won't use this anytime soon. You know, and they always get a kick out of that.
I like it. You had an idea this morning that you dropped on me, and I think it is an absolutely awesome idea. We're going to have to make that happen. Can you give the audience a little synopsis of what we talked about?
Yes. What I think I want to do is maybe once a month start holding a seminar here at Old School Barbecue. We'll gather on a Thursday like today. We'll come watch Clarence, and then afterwards I'll have some food back here prepared by Old School Barbecue, and we'll just talk in general about, Lee, what's going on. Because sometimes it's hard to arrange a one-on-one meeting.
Right.
Do I really want to talk to him? Do I not? Do I feel pressured?
Right.
No pressure. Open concept. Many questions. There may be a question somebody else asked that you didn't think to ask.
Right.
Yeah, let's make that happen, and we'll get that out and start promoting that.
See, this is a Louisiana guy. He understands Louisiana folk are the kinds of people. We like to sit down and look a man in the eye when we talk to him. We like to talk under less stressful conditions where we can maybe tell a joke or laugh a little bit. All the while, we're getting to know the person that we're dealing with and help put our minds at ease. Again, y'all, I get it. I have been there and done that. Having lost a brother and two parents in this life. So I know what goes on when this happens. Had I known Lee Serio back in the day, it would have made things so much easier. The reason we do it is because we love you. And we understand at some point, hopefully not today, hopefully not next week, but it's going to happen. And you may as well do your family the biggest favor you can by making it as easy as possible when it happens. Lee, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call the number on the screen, 225-315-6329. You're going to get my wife, Gretchen. She'll answer a few questions, ask you a few questions. We'll set up an appointment. We'll have that one-on-one if you're comfortable.
Well, be sure that you stay tuned in the coming weeks, because we're going to make this thing happen.
Excellent.
And Lee says he'll pick up the tab for lunch. Yep. Come on out, get all of your questions answered in a nice, comfortable setting. It, as we like to say in South Louisiana, it don't get no better than that, my friends. Lee, as always.
Thank you, Clarence.
Thank you. Oh, and by the way, whatever your favorite watering hole or restaurant is, if you ever see an advertisement for the Lee Serio Band, that's this guy. Come and check him out. Guaranteed, it's going to be a great show. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, they didn't think this one all the way through, y'all. That's next when we continue the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Come see the all-new Mazda CX-90, now on sale at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, the older you get in life, you come to realize certain things, especially things that the media and the politicians try to tell you are so important, earth-shaking importance, save the planet kind of importance, those kinds of things. And if God blesses you to stick around long enough, lots of times you find out, man, these people are full of crap. I could have said something else, but you get the idea. This whole electric vehicle push falls into that category. Now listen, y'all. If you are of the opinion that humankind has not been as good a steward of the earth as we could have been, I'll grant you that. But there's also a point that comes along where you start to ask, is the remedy worse than the problem? For example, new report from the federal government out this week says that because of the weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, not W-A-I-T, because of the weight, the heaviness of electric vehicles, they wear out roadways 2.5 times faster than internal combustion engine driven vehicles. They're so heavy that they tear up the roads at a rate 2.5 times faster than your gas driven car. Well, why is that important, Clarence? Well, first of all, you do realize, do you not, where that money to fix roads and bridges comes from, correct? I know, Mr. Bugs. Charlie? Out of my pocket, because I'm a taxpayer. Ding, 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 got a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Who do you think is going to get the privilege of paying to fix all of these roads? Meanwhile, speaking of electric vehicles and the exorbitant weight of these vehicles, you do realize, do you not? We spent decades building parking garages. Cities have gotten so big. We got stadiums, we've got big concert venues, we've got events. We got to have places for people to park. So you go to major cities and there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 10-story parking garages. You do realize, do you not, that you can't park all of these excessively heavy vehicles in parking garages that are rated for internal combustion engine driven vehicles? Well, technically, I guess you could put them in there if you relish the idea of the freaking thing falling down and killing a bunch of people. But they didn't think this one all the way through, y'all. Meanwhile, as if that meanwhile were not enough, you do realize, do you not, that when an electric vehicle catches fire, putting it out, English teachers, here we go, in 3, 2, 1, ain't just like talking about it. Professional firefighters will tell you, your gasoline-driven car, if it catches on fire, it's going to take about 500 gallons to put out that fire. When an EV, electric vehicle, catches fire, professional firefighters associations all across the country will tell you it takes about 5,000 gallons to put out one of those. So in New York this week, it's as if they're in competition to see whether or not they can take over the title of the granola state from California. This week, they are granted $25 million of your money, taxpayer dollars, to build charging stations for electric bikes. Well, I thought they could charge them at home, Clarence. Not anymore. This week, a couple of electric bikes caught fire. And the fumes, toxic as they are, you know what happens, what hot air does, right? It rises. The EV bike shop is on the bottom floor, apartments right above it. So when they caught on fire, all of the toxic fumes from the electric bikes went up into the building and promptly killed 4 people. Oh, did I mention that so far, just this year, there have been over 100 electric bikes to catch fire? 13 people have died as a result of it. Then, of course, there is the elephant in the room. Where you insert your favorite expletive here, is all this extra electricity going to come from? Y'all do realize, don't you, there's no magic electricity tree out in back of the White House where Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Pete Buttigieg can go out and pluck a few electric leaves off the electric tree, put them up against your car, and magically charge it. You realize that's not how this thing works, right? Where in God's name is all of this extra electricity going to come from? If memory serves correct, every year for the past 5 to 8 years, in some part of this country, in the dead of summer, there have been rolling blackouts or brownouts because there's not enough electricity to power what needs to be powered. So let me get this straight. We already know that pretty regularly, when it gets hot enough, we don't have enough electricity to meet demand. So what are we going to do? What could go wrong? Why not have millions and millions and millions more cars that need electricity? You can't make this stuff up, y'all. But as they normally do, in an effort to get you to swallow this crap, they're going to call you all sorts of ugly names. Oh, you hate the planet. Oh, you want to see people die. Really? So now, in New York, the liberal place that it is, they have now outlawed you charging your electric vehicle at home. Can't do it anymore. So they're going to take the $25 million of your money, because it came from the federal government, and if you've been paying attention in Clarence's class, you already know the federal government has no money of its own. The only money the federal government has is the money they take out of your check every hour you go to work. They have no money of their own. So that $25 million they just gave to New York to build safe charging systems, that's your money. That's your money. But they will tell you, if we don't do it, we can't save the planet. God forbid one of these things catches fire in a parking garage. Someplace that a fire engine cannot go into. The extra time it takes to run lines all the way through that building to hook up to a hydrant to attempt to put out that EV fire could very well translate into lost lives. Not to mention, if you are so unfortunate as to have that electric car catch fire right next to another electric car. But that's okay. You'll help save the planet. Final break of today's show. If you believe that, by the way, Marty said be sure to tell you that we have a co-owned beachfront, mountaintop, snow-covered chalet in Bruley, Louisiana that we'll let you buy real cheap. Deal of a lifetime. And you can help save the planet. Final break of today's show. We'll come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up another week of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close. Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Dignity Memorial can help. Our prepaid funeral plans make sure that your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. At Dignity Memorial, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or Gretchen Serio at 225-315-6329. That's 315-6329. Dignity Memorial, for the peace of mind you deserve.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Just this morning, news broke of an historic ruling from the highest court in the land, the United States Supreme Court. Don't know if you've been following this case or not, but the universities of North Carolina, UNC, the Tar Heels, and Harvard were sued recently because of affirmative action policies regarding admissions to the school. The schools made the argument that in order to ensure a diverse student body, they had to have leeway in using race as a determining factor for whether or not you were admitted to either the University of North Carolina or Harvard. If you have watched me, listened to me for any amount of time, you know how I feel about this. It is one of the most insulting things ever for me as an American who happens to be a black man. What for the last 50 some odd years, because it was Mr. Great Society, Lyndon Johnson, who brought this to the forefront. It's insulting to me to think, well, bless their little old hearts, black people, you know, they mean well, but they're not capable of learning like white kids. Black people, you know, they mean well and they want to do good, but they need some help from us. Do you have any idea how insulting that is? To think for 1 second that not only are you insulting me as a human being, not only are you insulting me as a man of color, but you're also insulting me to try and get me to think that I should go along with this crap because you're doing me a favor. And this has been in place for over 50 years now. Finally, and I guess this would fall in the category of, we might be slow, but we get there eventually. The Supreme Court this morning finally rectified this. Just imagine for one moment that if black folks were denied admission to an HBCU, white people, that's a historically black college and university, for those of y'all that don't know. Can you imagine how outraged black people would be if seats for admission in an HBCU were denied black students because we need to give it to some other race? Not only are you insulting me as a man, as an American, as a person of color, but you're also insulting me by running totally and completely afoul of the Constitution of this country that does not allow discrimination based on race. Listen, y'all. In a representative republic the likes of ours, and for those of you idiots that still think, well, we're in a democracy. No, we're not. We're a representative republic. And our form of government does not make, nor should it make, any allowances at all for race. You either put in the time to study, put in the time to expand your mind, or get the hell out of the way and let that seat go to somebody who will. Now, black folk, it is time to recommit to our children and to the process of education. There's no more of this crap, well, you know, you can slide in because you're black. Ain't no more of that. I'm sorry, English teachers, I didn't Give y'all the heads up on that. There is no more of that. You now have to get in on your own merits. So parents, guardians, students, all of whom happen to be black, we now are back to square one where we earn our way. And in case you didn't know, we are just as capable of earning our way as anybody else. The only question now is, are we willing to make the sacrifice to do it? I know, Clarence, I'm working 2 jobs. I get it. I understand. You put in 8 this morning at your regular job. You went another 3, 4 at your part-time job after that. But those children did not ask to come here. You brought them here. And it is your responsibility as a parent or a guardian to get your tired behind in there and go through the homework. It is your responsibility to make sure, all right, you know, you got that big spelling test coming up on Friday. It's Monday. Let's start practicing now. That's your job. End of discussion. It ain't the teacher's job and it's not the school's job. It's yours. And if you want to ensure that your child has access to all the wonderful things that this country has to offer its citizenry, if you want your child to be the beneficiary of all the sacrifices that others made before us, then get off your you-know-what and do your job. It shouldn't take somebody feeling sorry for black folk for us to get into Harvard or UNC. It shouldn't take that. As a matter of fact, there were some people that didn't want us to have these rights because they didn't think intellectually we were smart enough to handle it. Well, it's time we show them different. And only you can do it. My time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But you already know the drill. Oh yeah, you're right, 100%. This day more than any other, you're right. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you know he loves you, and you know I do too. Best news is, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you soon. God bless.